This is the EXA 2A. It was made in the early 1960s in Dresden, former part of East Germany, and it has a number of features which set it apart from a lot of cameras of the time. The most noticeable difference about this than a lot of other cameras is that the shutter release is on the front. I wind forward the camera, I release the shutter there. Wind forward the camera, release the shutter. What doesn't happen though, and I can demonstrate that if I take the lens off, wind forward the camera and release the shutter. The mirror doesn't come back. The mirror only drops down when I advance the shutter. That means it's quite easy to fire the camera accidentally. EXA have got around this by putting a lock on the back. When this switch is in this position, I can't release the shutter. Move it to this position and I can release the shutter. The shutter speeds for this camera are controlled by this dial here, and you can hear it changing as I alter the settings. It runs from half a second through to 1/250th second, and this red mark here is for the flash sync. Flash sync connector is over here. Around the film advance we have a decreasing counter that shows you how many shots you've got left, and the almost obligatory do nothing dial, which simply allows you to remember what film you put in the camera in the first place. As you can see, it's quite a chunky body. To get into the camera, I turn this dial so that the two red dots are matching, and then I can take the whole of the back of the camera off. Let's get rid of that bit. Unlike its competitors from the Soviet Union, this focal plane shutter, although it's a cloth blind shutter, runs vertically rather than horizontally. As you can see from this one, the shutter speeds aren't incredibly accurate. If I want to load up a film, the film slots in this side of the camera with a little bit of wiggling, and this side actually comes off, so that I can actually insert this into the little slot here, then reattach it to the camera. As so often, it's not very convenient. There you go, it works like that. Okay, let's take that out. The camera back should just fit back on quite neatly, and this one works quite smoothly to lock the camera. The lens is a bayonet mount. And it locks firmly into place. And it has a Domiplan 50mm f2.8 lens, which is very similar to those that found on the Prakticas of the time. No accessory shoe, no meter. Once I've used up the film, I press this button, which releases a clutch inside, which allows me to rewind the film back into the cassette. Really, that's about it. This sold something like 40 to 45,000 of these in the early to mid 60s, so it was quite popular, and it got an awful lot of people into photography, which in my view has to be a good thing.